Today we're advancing through 2 NHL seasons, but the entire league has been put back in their prime. This means Connor McDavid is no longer alone atop the league with a 97 overall rating. The Bruins won like 300 games last season, and guess what? They're even stronger now. You just hate to see that. Arizona is the LTIR graveyard, and it's finally gonna pay off with some W's. Other veteran-laden squads like the Dallas Stars and New York Rangers are also significantly boosted with their leaders finding the fountain of youth. All told, each team in the NHL has at least 2 players boosted with a return to their prime, and there's also one more chaos-inducing factor to consider: the free agency pool, which consists of a bunch of washed-out veterans nearing retirement who have also been returned to better days. Where will those players land in our prime NHL, and which teams will be most affected? Well, let's find out. Okay, mid-season of our first year, unfortunately, we only had 2 marquee prime free agents signing. I'm not sure why, but Joe Thornton, 95 overall, signing with the Senators, playing alongside Brady Tkachuk, prime Claude Giroux. That's actually not bad. Not sure Carolina needed it, but they signed 91 overall Braden Holtby. Why not? Stanley Cup champ, beef it up back there, sure. Okay, we've officially hit the end of the season. By the way, I did turn injuries off. Leon Draisaitl, the league's leader in points with 110, 97 overall prime Ovi, up there second with McDavid and with Crosby, so that actually worked out very well. Backstrom boosted up a bit in his prime, also playing with Ovechkin. I can see why that happened. No other crazy names here. Stammer right back up there. You love to see it. Oh man, the Capitals must have finished really strong. 84 points for Pacioretty. They are all over the place. Pavelski, Sagan, both from the Stars. I called them out in the intro. Yeah. Oh my. Penalty minutes. I always find this interesting. I boosted Goodbranson, Opozo, Wayne Simmons, but not like I probably improved their discipline. What are they doing in the box so much? Just for reference, defenseman Cal McCarr, obviously in his prime right now, or still getting there. Erik Karlsson, no surprise. Brent Burns, I gave him a bit of a boost. Same with Letang, and Doughty checks out. I boosted a ton of goalies, man. I can't even remember who. Lehner definitely got a little bump. Mike Smith for the Oilers. Looks like they found their solution in net, which is prime Mike Smith. Braden Holtby, like I mentioned, signed with the Hurricanes. He had a very strong season. Bobrovsky's a bit better. Oh, Ben Bishop got resurrected for the Sabres. We do have our playoff bracket. We'll start out west. Predators, Avalanche. Okay, Stars, the Canucks made the play. I didn't even change Vancouver very much. Edmonton, Calgary, Battle of Alberta, Vegas, Minnesota. So fun matchups all around. Over in the East, oh my good, we've got it. Sid and Ovi back in the playoffs like they should be in their prime, but facing each other round 1. Actually, I guess that's kind of iconic and, memorable. Fair enough. We've got the Hurricanes, the Leafs, the Sabres getting in the playoffs. Interesting. Opozo carrying them, the Lightning, Bruins, Panthers. Okay. I feel as though we can always learn from teams that actually don't make the playoffs. There's definitely a couple teams. So the Senators, they signed Joe Thornton. They just missed the playoffs, but yeah, I thought they'd be better. Dude, the Rangers, yo, how did okay, I'm gonna look at the Rangers in a second. That is mind-blowing. The Kraken ended up being the worst team. Yeah, I didn't really have many players. I think I boosted Eberle, not much else. The Red Wings didn't get much of an effect. The Coyotes, dude, well, hold on. We gotta take a quick look at a few teams here that missed the playoffs. Brian Little, Jacob Voracek, Andrew Ladd. I returned so many players to their prime here. Arizona has a solid roster, and that's before I even get to why is Shea Weber 94 overall playing on the second pick? Maybe that's why y'all missed the playoffs. I don't know. Ultimately, Arizona probably didn't have the goaltending to make the playoffs. No such case with the Rangers. What were they doing? Panarin, Zibanejad, 95 overall Patty Kane, 92 overall Tarasenko. How'd they miss the playoffs? And they've got 292 overall. Maybe because Quick and Shesterkin maybe it was like a battle of goaltenders and nobody was happy. Maybe that's what sunk them. The classic case of having too many insane future Hall of Fame elite play. That's such a classic problem to have. Oh, and look what okay, so I put Ryan Kessler from LTIR with the Ducks. I put him back in his prime. He apparently got traded to the Islanders with Bo Horvat, that former Canuck connection, and it meant nothing. Even with prime Zach Parise. Dude, some of these teams. Okay, and the final team I'm gonna just eviscerate and question why they missed the playoffs. The Senators, Tkachuk, 95 prime Jumbo Joe Thornton, DeBrincat. Like, come on, dude. Claude Giroux's a 91 overall. Derek Brassard. I even upgraded some of their depth pieces. If I'm being honest with myself ahead of these playoffs, there's like too many storylines I'm thinking about right here. Let's see how the first round plays out, then we'll dive in a bit deeper. Actually, hold on. We have 3 game 7s in round 1, including a classic, Washington-Pittsburgh. Come on. You knew we had to pay attention to this one. Ovi versus Sid. Tom Wilson gets the Capitals on the board. Second period, the Penguins get 2 back, including Crosby. And knowing Sid the Kid, he probably set up Jake Gensel for the other one. Ovi, don't tell me you're going out sad in another playoff series in your prime. prime. All right, keep in mind, Ovi's back in his prime, so we can critique him. This might honestly be like pre-cup winning Ovi power play for the Caps. And there he is, Alex Ovechkin coming up clutch. I called him out. Maybe I didn't need to, as we, okay, we're going to OT, aren't we? We're going to OT, aren't we? Yep, there it is. I am prepared to sit here forever. 4 OTs, 5 OT. Well, maybe that's a little bit excessive. Let's see who gets the game winner, the series winner. We are midway through OT. We haven't even had a grade 8 chance. That was off the rush. Okay, hold on. Washington might be cooking something here. Milano back to the point. Ovi's not out here. I don't know if they got a game winner here. Prime Kuznetsov in the slot. How do you not get a better shot off than that? Uh-oh, Malkin forcing a turnover. Yeah, line 2 for the Pens. Pretty good with 93 Malkin. I'm vamping. I hope my guy gets a good shot. Marcus Pettersson. Rebound! Yes, sir. Jake Gensel. His second of the game. Malkin's line did it, baby. The Pens advance. An epic OT Game 7 winner there for the Penguins, and we ain't stopping, baby. Buffalo has pushed Tampa Bay with a bunch of prime upgrades. This is crazy. Off the top of my head, Buffalo had a Pozo, Ben Bishop, and net getting the upgrade, but not a lot. Tampa Bay much better on paper. Oh my gosh, Kyle Pozo. Yo, from the penalty minutes to scoring huge goals in OT in Game 7. I was sleeping on the Sabres team. What a turnaround. Okay, 3-2 in Game 7. I keep saying OT. Tampa Bay is trying to force OT, and no, oh, I thought that was them. No, it's an unknown for Buffalo. I mean, I'm sorry, Sabres fans. I just don't know him. I didn't. Oh my gosh, it's Jover. Victor Olofsson. I don't think Buffalo is a good team IRL. I did not boost them much, and they just destroyed Tampa Bay. Brother, what are the Sabres cook? Okay, Dylan Cousins, very good. Tage Thompson. Yeah, the Sabres are elite. I just mean I didn't affect them very much with a return to prime. Eric Johnson is now a stalwart for them. Fair enough. I mean, I guess that, yeah, Zemgus Girgensson, I boosted him too. And we have one final Game 7, a rematch of the 2007 Western Conference first round. I know, yeah, nobody remembers that except Canucks fans, maybe Stars fans. Anyways, that series had the Canucks winning a game. I think it was Game 1 in 4 OTs. It was crazy. Henrik Sedin scored the game winner. Brock Besser getting the Canucks out to a lead. And after 2 periods, Kuzmenko gets them up 2-0. Marchment brings it back to within 2-1. Okay. The Canucks also, oh my gosh, Jamie Benn. Yes, dude, if the Stars lose, this is going to be a massive upset, and we're going to have to deep dive on their roster. We're going to have to see who failed, because Jamie Benn's in his prime. Sagan, Duchesne, Pavelski, they were up there in league leaders. Oh, Carson Soucy, the offseason addition for the Canucks. What? Oh, Pavelski tied it up. No way. I just said his name, Pavelski, back in his prime. That is such a clutch goal. Oh my life. Canucks fans continue to not be given anything nice to play with the Stars. They're at home. They're going to win this game, aren't they? We can all feel it. Wait a minute. Pettersson, an early chance. I barely boosted anybody on the Canucks. In fact, one of the few additions was bumping Thatcher Demko up to an 88 overall. He's playing like bubble Demko again, but not really. He surrendered a goal with 8 seconds remaining. Dude, this is crazy. I can't watch. And as a biased observer of this game, maybe I should have looked away, because what would happen next was heartbreaking. Oh no. Oh no! Joe Pavelski. No, Pavelski again? A game-tying goal with, what, 8 seconds left, and then he throws the dagger into Canucks fans. Yeah, that's tough. I can't be impartial here. That's horrible. Okay, so a few big shockers here in our first round, as Colorado got owned by Nashville. Oh my word, the Stars we just saw advance. McDavid and the Oilers dusted in 5, and Vegas did advance. While over in the East, we saw Sid and the Pens beat Ovi and the Caps. The Hurricanes beat Toronto. Okay, we saw the Lightning lose, and this time around, the Bruins actually beat the Panthers. Nashville beating Colorado is a surprise, let alone the fact they did it in 5 games, but they are led by 89 overall Ryan O'Reilly. 86 overall prime Gustav Nyquist had 6 points, fair enough. And Ryan McDonough, I boosted back up to an 89 overall. He's certainly, you know, solid, even though he only had 1 point. I feel like I need to actually show this Stars roster. They just broke Canuck fans' hearts. They didn't have a lot of outstanding performances in round 1, but Joe Pavelski back in his prime, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, Ryan Suter, Matt Duchesne. I mean, the list goes on. Dadonov, I think I boosted him. They added Alex Edler. I forgot. 87. They are stupid loaded. How did they get taken to 7? I haven't mentioned them since the intro, but yeah, the Bruins are off to round 2 with prime Patrice Bergeron. Obviously, they were a great team already. Prime Milan Lucic, who's an 88 overall. Oh, and by the way, to get their prime ratings, I went through old NHL games and used the best rating I could find for these veterans. And Milan Lucic was an 88 overall. I believe it was NHL 16. It's crazy. crazy, but I didn't just make that up myself. Anyways, off to round 2. What are we gonna be cooking? Which teams will advance to the Final Four? Wow, I was waiting for another Game 7 or maybe multiple Game 7s like round 1, but not meant to be. As the Stars continue their dominant run, the Vegas Golden Knights beat Calgary in round 2. While over in the East, Sid and the Pens are done. The Hurricanes advancing, and they'll have to face the Boston Bruins, unfortunately. Dude, Prime Malkin, Prime Crosby, the leading scorers in the playoffs. I mean, they played 13 games. Both eliminated, though. That's wild. I don't think I've mentioned the Hurricanes in a while in this video. They did indeed get a slew of Prime upgrades. Paul Stastny is one of them. Brent Burns is another. I think I did look at their lineup. Jordan Staal, he's a stud again. They are the team that actually took advantage of the free agency. Barely any teams did. Braden Holtby, his numbers are not looking good, but I mean, they're in the conference finals. And the other conference finals participant we have yet to peruse, the Vegas Golden Knights. Phil Kessel, yep, I returned him to his prime, 89 overall. Mark Stone got a little bit of a boost as well, and they're both balling out. It makes sense. And for the purposes of this video, it's kind of unfortunate we don't have any shocking teams into the conference finals. Vegas, Dallas, Boston, Carolina, they were all competitive this year, but it's cool, bro. We got to show some love to the OGs that are on this team and obviously playing well. And yes, sir, I knew we had to get one clutch finish here. Carolina, Boston, it's Game 7. We don't need to mention quite yet how the Western Conference Finals went. It's not Game 7, though. That is your only spoiler. We have a scoreless first period, and we have the Bruins getting a pair, including from Pasta, both on Braden Holtby. Okay, Carolina, you are officially in some hot water. All those depth pieces I gave you, Stassi. Oh, there it is, Seth Jarvis. All right. They could use, Jordan Staal stepping up here. Maybe Brent Burns. I put him back in his Norris Trophy form. Okay, 5 minutes left. There, every time I mention a player, they come up clutch here. This is crazy. First Joe Pavelski, and now Brent Burns tying it up, and we've got Dmitry Orlov of all people. He's back in his prime, and he's got the game winner. What? I thought for sure we were heading to OT, but Seth Jarvis, Brent Burns, Dmitry Orlov, a Carolina Flood, a Boston Bruins choke. And that will bring us to a Stanley Cup final between the Dallas Stars and Carolina Hurricanes. Dallas is just a buzzsaw. They somehow took 7 games in round 1, but they just swept Vegas in the West Final. A quick refresher before the Stanley Cup final, the Stars led by Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Joe Pavelski, Tyler Seguin, almost their entire top 6 rebuilt, put back in their prime. It's amazing. Defensively, I mean, Ryan Suter back in his prime, one of the best shutdown defenders in the league, and they traded for Alex Edler, 87 overall. No doubt, they're so good. But Carolina is no collective slouch either. Paul Stastny back in his prime, Jordan Staal, Derek Stepan. That center core is insane. And defensively, we saw 2 huge goals, one from former Norris Trophy winner Brent Burns, the other from Dmitry Orlov back at an 85 overall. And they signed championship caliber Braden Holtby, who, well, he's been doing the trick here. Can he keep it going though? Oh my gosh, yes he can. Braden Holtby might just be the truth. Literally from the time I started putting together this roster for this video, I was worried about I thought Dallas would be that team, pal. Oh my gosh, and they're down 2-0 in the first period. Dmitry Orlov, what is with this dude? Yo, Brent Burns got another one. This team is, I thought Dallas was going to be the buzzsaw, the unbeatable team. They looked that way right up until this cup final. Carolina, though, just handling business. And I actually just double checked. I didn't boost Dmitry Orlov. He was an 85 on the stock roster I used to start building this team. There's another prime veteran, Derek Stepan, him, Brent Burns. Everybody's getting involved. So it turns out it wasn't a team that got, like almost completely rebuilt from the prime player upgrades. Instead, it was a team that was already elite, but had a few key acquisitions, a few key bumps. Braden Holtby was amazing. What kind of mask are you wearing, Braden? You're totally ruining the vibe, my guy. And there it is, prime Jordan Staal with a very dark colored beard. I'm not so sure about that one, NHL. Unless I'm missing something and Jordan Stahl's beard gets fair. I'm focusing on the wrong thing here. The Carolina Hurricanes are indeed the year 1 prime NHL champions. That's nice. Congrats. Awards from year 1, Leon taking the mantle back from Connor McDavid, winning Art Ross and the Hart. Cal McCarr winning another James Norris. Nick Backstrom getting some hardware for the Caps. Ben Bishop won the Vezina. Omar Jennings, okay. Ryan O'Reilly for the Predators with the Selke, and actually Ovi won Rocket Richard and Ted Lindsay. Year 2, what a reunion, man. 44-year-old Joe Thornton, although he's still in his prime, goes back to Boston, and they signed James Neal. Excuse me, Milan Lucic. Yo, if Boston doesn't win the year 2 Stanley Cup, well, maybe it's because Carolina might just mess around and go back-to-back, as Jonathan Toews has finally signed with a team. I definitely gave him signature abilities. Anyways, he's still a 94. The Rangers messed around and didn't lose anybody from their core. In fact, Panarin, Kane, Tarasenko, they're all a little bit better. Why is Blake Wheeler still on the 4th line? And you know what? I didn't talk about them before because they were first rounded, but Toronto, you know, Matthews is now a 96. You got prime John Tavares out here. They added Stanley Cup champion Derek Stepan, prime Morgan Riley, John Klingberg, Mark Giordano. I'm just saying, Toronto, don't choke again. Oh my gosh. No, they did. They choked. I mean, I was waiting for the Leafs to choke in the playoffs, but before the wait a minute. What are they? The Leafs finished dead last in the East. Okay, yeah, NHL, you are crazy, NHL 23. Vegas, Colorado, Dallas, pretty chalk. Yo, Bedard as the Blackhawks in contention in the Western Conference. Okay, the Coyotes, there you go, LTIR graveyard themselves. Wait, oh my gosh, I'm back in the Eastern Conference. The Bruins, bro, I can't let them off the hook either. They are just joking this entire video. Brad Marchand led the league in scoring. David Pastrnak was up there. Joe Thornton, they had 3 people in the top 6 in scoring and missed the playoffs. What am I seeing? But you know what? No Toronto Maple Leafs in the playoffs. That's okay. We got a lot of new faces with their teams back in their prime. Round 1 is in the books with Dallas narrowly advancing over the Blackhawks. Okay, this time the Canucks made round 2. That's kind of nice. The Capitals this time also making round 2. Buffalo. Yo, Carolina's out. No repeat champion in our 2-year simulation. That's always nice. Once again, my Canucks, though, won't be the team advancing, winning the cup in year 2. Vegas, Dallas, who has a chance at revenge there in the cup final. Washington versus Buffalo. I feel like Buffalo's sticking out to me there when I see it. Tage Thompson, Middlestack, Cousin. Yo, this team is basically their current team. That's crazy. Kyle Opozo, I've mentioned him a bunch of times. He's back in his prime, but everyone else? Nah, this is just how they're going to produce in real life. Ryan McDonough and Eric Johnson. Actually, those are 2 big helps on the back end. Oh, and they got Ben Bishop in net. Okay, fair enough. The prime boost has really helped the Sabres accentuate their awesomeness, but there's going to be no further accentuating of awesomeness for the Sabres. They lost. It's Vegas. It's Washington. A rematch of 2018. Ovi, Backstrom, Oshie, all back in their prime. Kuznetsov, Pacioretty. Yeah, Capitals are a team that definitely benefited from the prime boost. Phil Danault ended up on Washington. Yo, Alex Edler is just all over the place in this video. He's now on Washington, still an 85 overall. That's a solid defensive core. In net, though, they've done nothing. Darcy Kemper, is he good enough to win him a cup? Or does Vegas get their revenge for the 2018 Cup final? Phil Kessel still in his prime window, though he's falling off a bit. I see Adam Henrique they've added. Brian Boyle, nice. On the back end, Theodore and Pietrangelo, who's back down to an 89 overall. Not much change there. And they also don't have a huge boost in net. Robin Leonard, 87 overall. Who's it gonna be? The Vegas Golden Knights, year 2 with the NHL back in its prime, are your Stanley Cup champions. Jack Eichel, 25 points in 25 games. Phil Kessel always stepping up on the big stage, 23 points of his own. They were a dominant team. And Robin Lehner was just good enough. 263 goals against, 916 save percentage, but 16 wins. It doesn't matter because they failed to even make the playoffs. But Brad Marchand, Art Ross. Oh, Jack Eichel won Hart. What a year for him. Cal McCarr owns the Norris, but it's Eichel who owns the season. He won Conn Smythe. Robin Lehner actually won Vezina. That's crazy. Kopitar back in his prime takes home another Selke. That's awesome. Eichel also wins Ted Lindsay. Yep, what a season for the guy. And there you have it. 2 seasons with the NHL back in its prime. The Hurricanes, the Golden Knights are your champions, but we're all winners because Boston and Toronto both choked this entire video. And if you're not a Bruins or Leafs fan and I haven't offended you, go check out one of my NHL Imperialism videos. They are a whole lot of fun. I know you'll enjoy it.